And when he died, rather than split the business up, I married his business partner. Thereby we raised our 2 sons together. I had the care of my stepson from when he was 4 years old. He looks to me as his mother. So his loyalty is to me and to my son, who is his business partner, and they work well together. They've been brought up together and brought up to work together. And the business is again in only one family, not 3 or 4 as would have been if we had both remarried other people. So that was a good pragmatic match. And then coming to court after my second husband died, I caught the eye of Sir Oliver Sinclair, Knight of the Realm, and a favourite of our good King James V of fond memory. That's a very good match for me. And actually not a bad match for him, because as I say, I'm likely to be as rich as any noblewoman he's likely to marry.
But you're middle class.
Hi, but I have a good dowry. He has the name, and I have the money. That's a perfectly good match. And I have the ear of the Queen. The Queen trusts me, which is another factor in his favour. For of course, with the King having died, now everybody's looking to find favour with the Queen, which I have and he has not, or not so much. Right?
Could we say he married a nurse with a purse?
I'm sure no gentleman would say any such things, Dan.
Can you describe anything about the key
Right.
and the ornaments that are in
In general terms, this says I am a trusted servant. I have keys and valuables. Specifically, the valuables I have in charge of here are the linens. The linens are very expensive, so is the soap. Were I in my own house and carrying a key, that would show that I was a housewife, the senior woman of the house who gave me the keys to the valuables. This I have here is my needle case. I carry it about me. There might be jobs that need doing, so I have needles within. I don't have any pockets as you have, so the little items that I carry about me must be strung from my belt, all carried in my basket. Another thing you might notice about what I'm wearing is I have separate sleeves on my gown. Now I might wear a gown over this that will cover up the gap, but as I'm working I don't. If I want to do anything that's wet or dirty work, I can't roll these sleeves up, so I must take the whole of the sleeve off. There's another reason why women tended to have separate sleeves rather later on than men did, which is courtship gifts. It's a tradition that you can only accept small gifts. Gentlemen should only offer small gifts. So a pair of gloves, a pair of sleeves, a small item of jewellery. A whole dress would be far too extravagant a gift for a lady to consider accepting. That would be far too avaricious to accept such a great gift. But a pair of sleeves or gloves is a reasonable level of gift to accept. It's also very easy for the gentleman to see how his suit is going. If he gives you a pair of gloves, he sees you wearing them the next day, he knows he's got a good chance. Whereas if you say thank you to him and put them aside and don't wear them, then he might as well give up at that point.
Could you talk a little bit about the furniture in this room, what we're looking at?
Aye. Well, we have the bed. This is the bed chamber. This is not the room that Mary de Guise actually sleeps in. She sleeps in a small room, a closet, which is much easier to heat. This is a very big room with big windows. Those of you who are old enough to remember coal fires, as I do, will remember that they don't put a lot of heat out into a room. They're very hot close to, but by the time you get to about this distance, the rest of the room is cold. It's quite possible those windows will have ice on them, even if the fire is blazing in the grate. Another thing is, this room is very drafty. That big chimney draws a lot of air in and up. So this is not a comfortable room to sleep in. Having said which, some of the lower maids might be sleeping in here to be on call in case the Queen needs them, but it's not terribly comfortable. The Queen will have a nice cosy closet. It would have been through that door, but in about 100 years or so, Mr. Cromwell's going to come by with some cannon, and that part of the palace doesn't survive his attentions. So we also have her desk. And one thing to notice about that is the cloth of state that hangs above. It comes to halfway across. That tells you that the person on this side of the desk is the Queen, and the person on this side of the desk is not the Queen, which is an important distinction. We do say only 3 people are allowed under that canopy. The old Queen, the young Queen, and the boy who looks after the fire. You'll notice that the table is covered with a carpet. This is a more common way of putting a carpet. A carpet is valuable, it's hand woven and imported from the Middle East. Having it as a table covering or a wall hanging is much more common than this extravagance of throwing this valuable carpet on the floor and walking on it. This is very much a statement of extreme wealth, having carpets on the floor. Having said which, in the shoes I'm wearing, I very much appreciate it. My shoes have a thin leather sole, and there's a huge difference in heat and comfort walking on a carpet than walking on a stone floor, which you in your modern shoes probably won't notice so much. The other things we have in here, you'll notice the triptych over there. Mary de Guise did hope in her youth to go into a convent with her grandmother, but she wasn't permitted to. The family